Hey everyone, welcome. I see some people starting to trickle in, so we'll give it another minute or two before we get started. All right, I think we can get started now, and people will join when they can. So thank you for joining us today for a webinar on quick wins with QMS QuickStart. Wanted to kick off with the agenda so you know what to expect and intro of presenters. So firstly, the agenda. Just some housekeeping. We'll be doing some interactive poll questions throughout just to kind of get a feel of the room and see how people are feeling about different topics. You'll also meet your presenters. I'm one of them. My name is Ahmed. Next, we'll go into an introduction to ETQ professional services. Then we will cover what is QuickStart with an overview of the packages and the process. Then we'll provide a customer example, success in action, and we will wrap up with a live Q&A, and we will do our very best to try to get to as many of the questions as possible. We'll keep a log of any questions we miss so that we can follow up with you directly afterwards. So first things first, presenters. So my name is Ahmed Al-Ashqar. I am a service sales consultant on ETQ's professional services team. I've been at ETQ for just under 3 years. And then my manager, Carrie, if you would like to give a quick intro.
Sure. I'm Carrie McDonough. I'm the Director of Service Sales with ETQ, and I've been here for 26 years. So I've been through the customer journey with a number of our accounts, and look forward to talk to you about our new QuickStart offering today.
Thanks, Carrie. And we have also Tyler Brown, a mid-market account executive who will be joining us shortly. He's in a meeting right now. So he'll join a little bit later to talk about his experience working with one of our customers on a QuickStart implementation. So I wanted to kick it off with a quick poll question just to get a feel of where you currently are in your QMS journey. Thank you. So you'll see the poll pop up on your screen. Your options are just starting to explore options, currently evaluating solutions, already using Reliance, and looking to expand or optimize your current use. Assuming most people in here are existing customers, will probably land in the bottom two, but I'll give you maybe a minute or two to answer this question right here. All right. Just as expected, we have the vast majority of people using Reliance, maybe interested in the idea of a quick start deployment, and that's why you're here. And we have about 13% of our attendees thinking actively about looking to expand or optimize your current use of Reliance. So thank you for your participation. And now we wanted to get into a professional services overview. So I will kick it over to Carrie.
Sure. So to start with, when we're thinking about your quality journey, we need to think about how we can set up your journey for success. So when you're evaluating your quality journey, it's important to think of your journey in terms of scope, time, and cost. And you need to ask yourself initially, kind of, what is the scope? What is it that we intend to do? What do we plan to implement? Who's going to be impacted by what we're implementing? You know, what are the processes that are really key to our business? What is the cost going to look like for that implementation? What are the internal resources that we'll need in order to support this effort? And if there are going to need to be any external resources to help along the way as well. And then timing, right? So what is the timeline that we have in mind for completing each stage in our QMS rollout? And when we talk with customers about defining this roadmap, we typically recommend looking at it in kind of a 1 year, 3 year, 5 year type horizon of, you know, where you want your system and your business to be over a longer period of time. So not just, you know, what's the hot button issue today, the thing that we need to address immediately, but really how do we want to deploy and improve our organization through our QMS over the longer term. So when we're considering that roadmap, we also want to make sure that we consider what the risks are of not delivering on the plan that we set out, whether that's compliance gaps, inefficiencies within your business processes, or even missed opportunities for improvement, right? So just kind of what's the cost of not improving or not changing the status quo from the way that we're operating today. And just to keep in mind also that ETQ, you know, as we've noted, we're, you know, I've been here a long time. I've been through this conversation with many customers. We're always here as your trusted partner to help you develop that plan and identify what will work best for your business. Let me go to the next slide. And to that end, we really have a number of offerings that we can use to partner with you. One of our strengths in our PS organization is our flexibility. We have, you know, whether you're in need of roadmap planning or other strategic guidance, system administration assistance, if you have, you know, resource constraints, bandwidth constraints, for life science customers, if they need help keeping their system compliant and validated, we have, you know, resources available to assist with that as well. So really, at the end of the day, you know, we pretty much can meet any need from our customers to support everything from, you know, very basic needs up to complex expansions and roadmaps. We can deliver kind of on any timeline that you may have in mind, whether it's a short-term project engagement or a longer-term resource that's embedded directly with your team. Really, and we can, you know, flexibly meet you where you are in terms of budget. So we have a number of different options around, you know, more ad hoc services or, you know, project-based services, subscriptions, and a number of hybrid plans that can be available. So the key is to keep momentum, right? So we want to be here to support you through that journey and make sure that you have the support that you need as your QMS program evolves over time. And so really, what makes us the best partner for you in this journey and what sets us apart is really our expertise. We are born in the QMS space. ETQ has always been a QMS provider. The founders of our company, were actually originally auditors for Underwriters Laboratories. So really, we were born in quality, and this is the space and long-term expertise that we have. And also the partnership that we strive to build with all of our customers. We have a large team of certified consultants and project managers that will partner with you to ensure your success. We have the ability to deliver services remotely. We can deliver them on a global scale and all of that is backed by our 30 years of best practice experience. And really don't take our word for it. I would say we have a number of customers who are consistently providing feedback to us that our technical competence, our supportiveness, and collaborative spirit of our team have really been instrumental in their success. At the end of the day, your success really is our success. So we're here to be your trusted partner. When we talk about or we look at how you go about defining that roadmap, right? Your QMS is kind of this big system that you need to deploy throughout your organization. There's a lot of elements and moving parts. What is really the best way to approach that? When we talk about QuickStart, what we're really looking at is building the foundation of your QMS that then is going to enable you to grow and expand upon that system long term. When we talk about our customer journey map at ETQ, what we're really looking at is kind of the maturity of your QMS and how it expands over time. We start out with our fundamental, if you think about, deploying your QMS kind of like building a house, the ignite stage is where we're looking at laying the foundation, right? It's getting the core processes in place that really are the foundation of your quality system, your document management, training your employees, auditing to ensure everybody is following the processes and procedures that you put in place, issuing corrective actions along the way when you find that something's not being done according to procedure. Change management to ensure that as we're making changes, we're assessing the risk of those changes. We're following a controlled plan for implementing those changes and making sure that everything that needs to happen to complete that change has been actioned. Those are really the core fundamental elements of your quality system. And that's really where we focus with QuickStart as kind of the launching point to get your quality system off the ground.
All right, let's get into the next poll question. What's most important to you when deploying a QMS? And your options are fast time to value, low configuration effort, built-in best practices, flexibility for future expansion, or all of the above. So we'll give it a minute or two. Looks like about 50% of the votes are in. Almost there. All right. So all of the above by overwhelming majority, which is great news. I think considering all of these value pieces makes it um, a lot easier for you as an organization. And as you'll see in the next slides where we cover QuickStart, that is the point of all of this. So I will take over from here to discuss QuickStart and QuickStart Plus. So I wanted to pose this question. Why consider deploying out of the box? So I want to start by talking about why more and more companies are choosing this out of the box deployment methodology. At its core, it's really about speed, efficiency, and proven value. Going out of the box, choosing that option will get you up and running a lot faster, and you will spend less time on configurations and kind of being stuck in decision paralysis. So you end up leveraging best practices that we've been honing here at ETQ for over 30 years, as mentioned in a previous slide. And it is your fast track to value. So you don't have to go back and kind of reinvent the wheel. So our tagline here is quick wins with QuickStart. What exactly is a QuickStart? You can think of it as sort of a jumpstart kit for your QMS journey. You're getting our most popular applications bundled into a single implementation package. It is built around standardized and battle-tested configurations. I really like that phrase, battle-tested. I mean, when you're talking about over 3 decades, these are things that we have been working on and perfecting over time, which means for you as the customer, you can dramatically reduce the time, effort, and overall cost of your implementation, which leads to you delivering value to your business in a matter of weeks, not months or years. And so now we're going to double click into QuickStart versus QuickStart Plus. So we offer 2 flexible tracks to help match your needs, and that is QuickStart, which you see on the left, and QuickStart Plus. QuickStart is our standard out-of-the-box adoption. It's ideal for organizations who are looking for a solid and streamlined foundation, whereas QuickStart Plus is essentially the same setup, but for those who want a little more. And the key here for both of these options is that they are designed to get you to a live, usable, and adopted system as quickly and efficiently as possible without sacrificing quality. So you can see with the bullet points, a closer look at what is included in each of those packages. The core QMS that you see on the left includes foundational modules like doc control, training management, Kappa, audits, and change management. With QuickStart Plus core that you see on the right side, you get all of the basic core setup as well as add-on options like SSO setup, SharePoint integration, mobile app setup, and more. And what's great is that every path is designed to be scalable. So you're not boxed in, you're kind of building a launch pad and then adding things as you see fit. As you move to more sites, as you want to deploy more applications, you can sort of go back to this quick start methodology. And maybe if you want to configure things later, you can consider different services to help you achieve that goal. And if you take a look at the box on the right, which are the quick start application package options, you'll see various app sets that are based on whatever your current focus is at your organization. A few of the common application sets that we see here at ETQ that organizations will start with, such as document and training management. This is one of the most popular starting points since it's foundational to your compliance and employee readiness. You also see supplier management, which is often the next choice, and that is to extend your quality controls across the entire value chain. And some folks will decide to start by focusing internally with nonconformance or audits. And of course, you can mix and match based on what matters most to your organization today so that you can get up and running as quickly as possible. All right, so now that we have those definitions out of the way, wanted to get into the deployment process itself. So one question that we often get is like, who needs to be involved from our side? Who will be involved from the ETQ side? QuickStart is designed to be light on internal resources in general, but we obviously will still need some collaboration between our team and your team to make it as successful as possible. So you'll be working with a dedicated implementation consultant at ETQ, someone who is an expert who is assigned to provide the guidance and support. We have a technology consultant who is there for installation, environment promotions, and eventually your go live. We have a project manager to help manage everything. And then from your side, you have a variety of different stakeholders. They may not each be an individual stakeholder. You might have one or two people wearing a variety of hats, but you would need a project manager, someone who is a process owner, someone who is an admin for ETQ Reliance itself. You'll need a steering team for the ongoing planning meetings. You will have an IT systems admin, and finally your end users who will be using Reliance. And so the goal is to define clear roles, clear timelines, and minimal disruption. So getting into a sample timeline. So this is a real sample timeline for a typical core QMS QuickStart. And as you can see, it's very compact. We move through planning, configuration, testing, training, and go live within 7 to 8 weeks, not including some of the pre-planning that happens before project kickoff. Because the workflows are already pre-configured, that allows your team to focus a lot more of their time and energy on adoption and less time on debating the configuration choices and personalization and customization, et cetera. And you obviously will notice towards the end that there's post-go live support to ensure that there's a smooth handoff and that you are confident in your rollout. Getting into our next poll question, from the application sets that I covered a couple slides ago, which one sounds most relevant to your organization? Core QMS, document and training management, supplier management, internal nonconformance, or internal audits? So think about your current goals. Let us know which one sounds like it would be most fitting right now. Approaching about 75% of the votes in. There are already some clear winners. All right. So we have 60% of the votes going towards core QMS. So kind of get up and running from the most foundational applications, and then document and training management, which happens to be our most popular from the application sets for QuickStart Plus. A lot of times this is bundled with things like SSO and SharePoint integration. So sort of validation based on what we're already seeing. All right, just want to confirm. Okay, we have Tyler in here. So we will get into our last section, which is a customer success story. All right, Tyler, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Cool. Nice to meet everybody. My name's Tyler Brown. I'm an account executive, a mid-market account executive over here at ETQ. And last year we were able to roll out one of the first QuickStart campaigns. And so wanted to share a story about Viega. Viega is a global manufacturer known for its high quality plumbing and piping systems. And I was actually working with their ISO systems manager and QA manager who actually had used ETQ and implemented ETQ at a previous company, a medical device company, and wanted to bring that same success over to Viega. At the time, Viega was expanding and needed a scalable QMS to deploy core processes like document control, training, audits, and CAPA. Their existing setup was mostly manual and fragmented, leading to inefficiencies, gaps in visibility, and inconsistencies across their different locations. The goal, though, was to harmonize quality processes across sites to support growth, and then also ensure data could be accessed quickly and confidently. Even though the ISO systems manager saw the value of ETQ, especially just using us out of the box with the industry best practices that are built into the system, they still wanted support from our services team to make sure that the system was implemented right for their team specific needs. If you want to jump on to the next. Cool. So with QuickStart, it let us implement ETQ's proven QMS process within just 8 weeks. It had a fixed scope, fixed cost model that gave my contact and the rest of his team confidence in the timeline and as well as control of the budget. It also allowed them to see faster time to value by leveraging the out-of-box functionality. There's no need to really start from scratch. We already had it built for them. This also brought down lower overall implementation costs while still aligning with compliance and their quality goals. And that Viega team really appreciated the blend of speed, best practices, and the expert support that our services team brings to the table, all without overcomplicating the rollout. I know implementation is always could be a head scratcher, and the QuickStart really eliminates any doubt there because it is a playbook for all teams to follow. And then today Viega has a strong scalable QMS foundation that they are continuing to build on with more applications over time, but that would not be possible without getting the core system up and running in a timely manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tyler. All right. I know we've drilled you guys with poll questions, but I promise this is our last one. What is driving your interest in considering QuickStart today? Your options are: we want to deploy ETQ faster, we need a standardized starting point, we're exploring options to expand our system, or we want to reduce internal configuration workload. So we'll give it about a minute or so. We have over 50% of the votes in. Wow, that was quick. All right, so we do have a winner, but it is pretty much spread across 3 options. Top option is we're exploring options to expand our system. Second is we want to reduce internal configuration workload. And third is we need a standardized starting point. So all very fair and valid considerations for why you might want a QuickStart deployment. And from there, we will get into our last section, which is Q&A. So short and sweet. Please drop your questions either as questions or in the chat, whatever you prefer. I don't think we've received any thus far. If you have any questions for Tyler about Viega, if you have any questions about the overall QuickStart process or how professional services can help you, please feel free to drop some of those questions here. And of course, I mean, you could always reach out to your assigned account executive, your customer success rep, any principal consultant that you've worked with. If you have any company-specific questions that you would rather not share here, we are always happy to meet and help you scope it out, figure out if QuickStart is a good fit for your organization. But if you do have any lingering questions about any of the content that was covered, please do drop it now. Tyler, Carrie, any closing remarks? Anything that we haven't covered that you think is important, or any important considerations that folks should have leaving this?
I think that we've covered all of the basics. I just want to reiterate, really that the point that your success really is our success, and we truly look forward to any opportunity to partner with our customers to help them, succeed in their goals with their quality system, and finding ways that we can help you in that journey.
Yeah. It's a great point. We did just get a question right now. Question is, we are already using 6 or 7 ETQ modules. Does QuickStart apply to any other modules that are not mentioned in this presentation?
Yeah, it could potentially. So if you want to reach out following the webinar today, we can talk through it. So really the key with QuickStart is that we're adopting the out-of-box best practice. So that approach really could be followed with many of the applications, as long as your organization is aligned to adopting what we have as that starting best practice. And then we can help you basically set it up and get it running quickly.
Awesome. I do not see any other questions now. So with that, right at the 30-minute mark, thank you very much for attending. We really hope that you found the information valuable. Just another reminder to reach out to your account reps, your PCs, your customer success reps. What we value most here at ETQ is collaboration with all of our customers, being able to help you in achieving your organizational goals, building upon that, working very closely with you through partnership. Those are, I think, some of our biggest drivers, and I think what differentiates us. And so keep those conversations going. We all, speaking for myself, and I know for others, we love getting on calls with customers, having these conversations, helping you, problem solve. So whatever questions you might have, please do reach out to someone, and I guarantee you there will be an answer. So thank you all for attending today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.